Versus when a week-long event coincides with IRL stuff and you literally don't have hours in a day. Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to get people to commit to anything ever. Ever. That's all. You just can't get people to commit to shit. And they'll swear up and down. They'll tell you, I'm so down. That idea is so cool. I would love to do this. Oh yeah, it's in a month. You want to do it? Yeah, I'm totally open. I'm totally free. I'll be there. And then when you add them to the Discord server, they don't add themselves into the server for like 3 days. They don't click on the link. Then you bump them and you're like, hey, did you see the server for it? And they're like, oh, oops, let me join. They get in and then they immediately mute the server. So when you ping, they never see the pings. And then the event starts and they're like, wait, what's the IP for the server again? And I'm like, it's in the rules channel and the how to connect channel and the what? Right? It's like, that's the experience, man. Ugh. I'm so interested in this idea. I, however, will not be participating because I don't do anything. I think that would be a good answer. I've given that answer to people sometimes. I'll go, hey, I'll join your Discord for this fun Minecraft server you're doing, but the chance of me actually logging in, 2% maybe. I try to set a real expectation. There's one Minecraft server that I was invited to that I have not had the time to get into at all. But I'm in there, you know, I'm in the Discord and I would love to join someday. And, you know, it looks cute. It looks fun. And I keep it in mind. I keep it in mind. And if I'm ever able to do it, I will. But, you know, we'll see. It's one that's like a bunch of VTubers are on right now, but it's mostly smaller creators. But I thought it'd be fun to hop in. And then this month was just stupidly insane. Yeah, Emily, you said, yeah, we can totally do this again sometime. And you're like, I thought we were doing this every Tuesday. Was that not the plan? Yeah. You know what the thing I've always wanted, genuinely, is I've just always wanted to have a wider group of people where at least like 4 of them, let's say it's 8 people, I don't know, but at least 4 of them are playing something together like every Friday. Once a week. That's all I want. That's it. And it's not a, ooh, let's schedule stuff in, or ooh, let's schedule every single collab. It's a, hey, something's always happening, you know, every Monday within this time slot. And we'll always have a list of things we could do, and whoever shows up, okay, today we're doing something. You know what I mean? I heard another streamer say this exact same thing the other day. Well, a lot of older groups worked like that. If you watched Let's Players like 10 years ago, and a lot of those Let's Players who became streamers, that's how they all did everything. And then at some point, things got like corpified, which is good for the streamers and their businesses. But then I think it, like, I don't know, people feel like they can't casually do something structured anymore. They only do something that's structured and corporate, or casual and disorganized. You know what I mean? I think it's hard though, because I've always had interest in that. I've always tried to propose to a lot of different friends, hey, let's do that. And then, I don't know, 90% of them have fallen through. And I'd say, you know, a good number of people have had legit reasons why they can't, you know, oh, I actually have a day job, you know, things like that are very, very understandable. But there are also people that have no excuse. And I think it's totally fine if they don't want to. They should just say they don't want to. You know, instead of being like, that sounds so great, I want that too, and then like never executing, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, Girls FC was like one of the only sets of people actually able to just casually commit, right? Which was great. And we did Monhunt Sundays for so long. It was so nice, genuinely. And I've said that to them many times. I'm like, thank you for following through when you say words. It's nice. I think I understand if people's schedules just don't align very well. Like even if in Girls FC, we couldn't have Nina join Monhunt Sundays very easily because we were doing them late because everyone's in wildly different time zones, you know, and it was just too late for her. But we still had some days where we started earlier and she joined in, or we just did something else on a Sunday. Like it was fine with us to just be like, yeah, let's just add some shit in. Every now and then, it's not frequent, but every now and then we still do something. They've been the easiest people to schedule with ever, compared to literally everyone I've ever worked with, except for maybe, I think the only other person, not like we were in some group together or something, but Chilled Chaos. I got it. Positive shout out. Positive shout out. He's got his thing going on and it's so strong. He's got his group of people that he knows like will show up when they say they're going to show up. And he just very simply is like, hey, I'm doing this Friday. Who's in? And it's very structured, but still casual. And anytime I've hopped in stuff with that group, no issues. No issues with scheduling. Everyone shows up on time. Everyone has the game already downloaded. Everything's just so smooth. You know what I mean? Really, really nice. People like that exist. I just find in VTubing, it's really hard to make that function. To make that work. It's hard. Is that him curating the group or just happened? Well, I think it's easier when you've been around for a really long time because you've spent so much time trying to do things with different people that you now know who will show up, who's worth inviting over and over and checking in with, you know? And I think he's just gotten to that point where he's gone through and done things with enough people, and he knows who's reliable. He's got his little Rolodex, right? And I think a lot of my friends that are streamers that have been around for a very long time eventually have that, but it takes a long time of slowly kind of picking through and finding the right ones for it, to be honest. But it also takes one person in particular usually has to be the spearhead. Like, this stuff doesn't happen unless one person spearheads it. But what happens is they end up getting like DM syndrome, as you call it, right? Where that person ends up being the organizer all the time. And if they love that and they want that, that's fine. But a lot of the time they don't. They want other people to also be willing to reach out and organize stuff. So a lot of groups end up petering out because whoever was the organizer just didn't want to be the organizer, right? They were doing it for a while. They didn't want to be the only one. No one else wanted to be another organizer to take the load off of them. And then eventually they just kind of stopped, right? Because it burns people out a little bit sometimes. Yeah, the if I don't invite people, would they ever invite me thing. Right. I think a lot of people, any of you, yeah, if you've ever had like a D&D group or a board game night or, oh, let's try to get like a regular night to go hang out kind of thing together. If any of you like in real life have ever tried doing this, it's the same exact thing where when you just try to get people to do stuff and you're the organizer, they just expect you to be the organizer. And if you ask someone else to organize, they'll go like, yeah, I'll do it. And then they just don't, right? It's just not a priority for them, I guess. It's a plague. It's a plague upon the earth or something. I don't know. Raid nights. Oh, I know. I've played a lot of MMOs for a long time. I've raided in a lot of MMOs. And I gotta say, getting raid statics together, trying to get 8 people, 4 people, you know, whatever game you're playing, trying to get those people together twice a week for 3 weeks, twice a week for 2 months, you know, whatever it is. Yeah, it's always terrible. It's always so hard to get people together. And it shouldn't be. It should be so easy. IMO, it's a wrong crowd problem. If I can't get people to respect what I want to do, it sounds like they don't respect me. Stay away from bad friends. Yes and no, but I think a lot of these people genuinely like each other. They're just bad at management. They're bad at their own schedule management. That doesn't make them a bad friend, you know? I think it's one check mark on a checkbox of multiple things that if they hit enough of them, they're a bad friend, you know? It's like one negative check against them, one flag. But it's not enough if everything else is good for me to be like, they're a bad friend. I can't be friends with you. I can't do stuff with you. You know, it's just like one little thing where like, maybe not this one. I mean, it does make you a bad friend if you constantly prioritize your chaos over managing it so you can hang out with your friends. At some point, you gotta be like, you gotta ask if you're okay being forgotten all the time. I get that. Yeah, it depends on like if it's just an occasional thing for them or if it's like every time. And it depends on, is this an oopsie I forgot, or is this a I never really had any intent to do it anyway from the beginning kind of thing? I don't know. There's nuance to it. I wouldn't say it's a black and white, like it does or doesn't make you a bad friend right off the bat. It depends. I've had a lot of friends that wanted to do projects with me genuinely, like really wanted to, and have said yes, and we've scheduled things, then been like, oh, I can't show up this day, but it's important that shows up for them. And then, you know, that keeps happening. And I'm like, I would like them to prioritize this, but I can't have them prioritize it over certain things because I wouldn't want them to do that to me, you know? So there are a lot of scenarios too where it's happened and I'm just like, And then for some of them, it's forgetfulness, but not a lack of respect of my time. And there are a lot of people where you'll ping them a week before. You know, oh, next Monday, do you want to do this? And they'll say, yeah. And then they'll forget. And then when you ping them that Monday and you're like, hey, we're ready to go in 15 minutes. They're like, what are we doing again? Oh my God, I forgot. And the difference is when some of them go, I'm so sorry I can't make it, or I will make it. What are we doing again? And they drop everything to come by or whatever it is, versus people that don't say anything. And then the next day they're like, oh, I slept in, I forgot. And they didn't even say anything during that time or before it, or you know what I mean? There are a lot of nuances here that change like how respectful the whole scenario is, right? And like, if someone is like flaky with me, but they're respectful when talking about it, I have way less of a problem with that than someone who just like ghosts, you know? You see their Discord or Steam saying they're on a game when they said they were asleep. Oh yeah, that's the worst. I've had that happen before where, I think people are just bad with the confrontation. I think most humans are bad with it to some extent, some more than others, streamers especially. I've had plenty of people say to me or to others, they do it to everyone, oh, I can't do this thing, you know, I'm going to go to bed soon, or oh, I got to work. They try to give some sort of reason that sounds really legit. And then when you're doing that thing that you asked them to do that they said no to, and we're like, oh, I got something so important. That time hits and it's like, boom, they opened Valorant. And you're like, oh, is that the important thing you have to do? You know, just say it. Just say, hey, I don't feel like it today. Sorry. I don't hate you. I just don't feel like playing that game today. Or there's so much in my brain right now. I just want a solo game tonight. Sorry. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, I get it, man. That's okay. That's chill. Do your thing, buddy. You know, I wouldn't be like, if you have 5 minutes to game, you can game with me on stream. Like I would never be like that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. People kind of like build up this scenario in their head that's never going to happen. And then they think about that and they're like, oh, I have to give them a crazy legit reason so that imaginary scenario doesn't occur, you know? And they just start like acting weird when they don't need to. I don't know. They all do it. I'm kind of low energy, so I'm just going to chill tonight. Yeah, right? That's all. No, people don't have to explain themselves. I think that's another thing. When people are like rejecting, saying, oh, I can't do this, or oh, maybe I'll show up, whatever. They don't have to give me some crazy elaborate thing. They can just be like, low energy. A lot of the time, I'm just trying to rest my voice. And that's what I tell them. Yo, I need to rest my voice. I've been doing too much. Like, I can physically game, but I cannot be in a call on a stream, you know? And I'll just tell people that. I'll just be like, I just don't want to talk. I've talked too much today. And that's it. Too many words, you know? They usually get it. I've never ever had an experience where I've like rejected someone multiple times saying, yo, I'm just my voice, like I just need to rest it, and had them be like, you hate me. You actually hate me. Never. So, you know, it's fine. Any communication is better than ghosting. I was just talking to a friend yesterday about that. The friend I mentioned earlier, I was in a call with for like 3 hours working on stuff. We were talking about, you know, the work that we're doing and communicating with people on it. And I was like, literally the only thing I care about is people managing expectations. Right? Like if I ask a question in DM and I'm like, yo, can you do blank X this Monday? Right? And you're not sure. You don't not answer the DM and then only answer 2 days later when you're sure. You send a reply immediately as soon as you see it and you say, I don't know yet. I will let you know when I can. Perhaps you have an idea. I'll let you know by Friday. Ooh, that's managing expectations. Now I'm not going to ping you before Friday because I know you need that time, right? That's all you got to do. Manage expectations. It's all that matters, man. I don't need that answer right then and there. I just need to know you're not dead. You know, because you're answering your DMs. I just need to know you've seen it and that you know what your next step is and I know what my next step is. That's all, right? Is that simple? People send responses immediately, big if true. I've got like a never bother anyone within 24 hours rule in my head, where if I send somebody a thing and I go, hey, I really need to know if you can do this by this date, the first 24 hours after I send that, I don't ping them again. I will never. Usually even longer than that. I'll let it sit, you know, give them the whole next day or whatever it is, but never, ever, ever within that first 24 hours am I going to ping again. They got shit going on potentially, you know? Yeah, day and a half, like next full work day at least, you know, just to figure out what's going on. Yeah, so for me, I've found there's so many people who are too stressed out to remember hangs and collabs and details and aren't honest with themselves about it. Yeah, I think that's the big thing, the self-awareness. It's totally fine if you're scattered and like your shit's not together. Just say that, you know? Just say, I would love to do it with you, but I'm genuinely so scattered right now. You know, I need you to check in with me often. I will forget. Or I'll put this on my calendar, but I know I'm not going to check my calendar. So like ping me the day before, right? Someone says that to me, I'd be like, all right. And then I'll go ping them the day before, you know? That's all they got to do. But you have to be honest with yourself to be able to say that kind of stuff, you know? I think genuinely when people start kind of like being scattered and falling off with figuring out their own time frame schedules, all this stuff, I think they just don't want to admit that. And they're trying to keep up a front of like, my shit's together, everything's good. And that keeps them from, you know, messaging me things like, hey, can you ping me? Like stuff that they really should, you know? I don't know. Anyway, anxiety's stupid and it ruins everything. That is my thought of the day.